Good day, everyone. I am Hernani J. Blanco Jr., and I will be discussing about the educational philosophy. So first, we'll be defining about educational philosophy. What is educational philosophy? So educational philosophy is a statement that identifies and clarifies the beliefs and values and understanding the individual or group with respect in education. So, in other words, it also serves to inspire and direct educational plannings, programs, and process in any given setting. Pragmatism. Pragmatism means it is states that if ideas work, it is good, and if does not work, it is not good, and it is meaningless. Which means pragmatism, if you are doing good or if you are doing very well, the that is good, and if you are not doing well, that is not good, or it doesn't work, or it is meaningless. So it aims to teach one of an changing society and to develop excellence, especially in students, because we focus on education, we focus on how to learn, on how the students will learn in the lessons or in the discussions. So application to curriculum and teaching. So what will be the implication of this educational philosophy, especially in pragmatism? So pragmatism's application in every important, it considers the intelligence of the students. So what I said a while ago, that it focus on the intelligence of the students, and it makes the objective of the lessons became attainable, measurable, and can be observed. Second is materialism. So from the word material, it is states that material thing or object are better than the concept, which means it is a tangible things or a tangible object that we can use in learning process. Like for example, the books and modules and visual aids. So what will be the implication of materialism in teaching? So in discussing any object matter, the use of different instructional materials such as like pictures, like what I said a while ago, that books and modules are very important in this type of educational philosophies, and these different materials will help, or it is a big help for the students and also for the teachers in order for them to be organized and knowledgeable well. The third is naturalism. So naturalism, it is states that anything is of value and it is based on truth and can be verified, which means it is focused on the factual informations or the truth informations, and it is not focused on the other opinion because it can result to misleading information. So the implication of naturalism in teaching, it is important to verify first that information is true, that information is false, because the teacher should know what will be the information and what will be the correct informations before they can teach the students to avoid a misleading information. The next is idealism. So idealism states that concept is better than materialism, which means it encourages the acquisition of facts and skills, reflective thinking, and moral choices. From the word idea, it means that it is a knowledge or the cognitive process and development between the students and the teachers. So the implication of this idealism in teaching, so in teaching practical arts or craftsmanships, the ideas or concept is important. The knowledge will enable them or the students to make their projects. The next is existentialism. So it asserts that reality is a matter of individual existence, which means the existence man's create himself by the choice he makes. So it aims that it serves the individual with specific goals of and awareness opportunity for free ethical choices, and development of self-knowledge, that sense of responsibility and individual commitment. So the implication of existentialism in teaching, so in values clarification approach, the teachers never impose personal values, but the students are free to choose their values based on their knowledge and experience. So which means that the students have their freedom of choice of what will be their choices and their career or choices in their different situations. So the teachers merely guide the students. So the teachers will guide also, or it focus on the guiding of the students, which to clarify that what will be the goods or what will be the pros and cons between their choices. Next is essentialism. So essentialism states that there is essential or important knowledge that all men should know. It further asserts the teaching of important and universally accepted values by the society. So it means that it is very essential, or it is very important that students will be knowledgeable of different discussion in the classroom, and the goal of the education is students will be the one who can get other informations and other knowledges. So the implication of essentialism. So in teaching, it is important for the teacher to teach all the basic essential skills or the important skills and knowledge to the students. So it is very important that students will gain more knowledge in their discussion. So the teachers will guide the students so that the students will be knowledgeable enough. Humanism. It asserts that understanding the cause of an action before doing something else. So the teacher should be humane because they are the role model in the classroom, and students will gain knowledge if the teachers are knowledgeable. So the implication of the humanism in teaching, so it focuses on the disciplinary problems of the students. The teachers must be humane or kind, and also the true in handling problems affecting the parents, students, and pair, because we cannot know the emotions of the students, and we need to be close to their heart or good-hearted between the students, and the teachers should know and guide the students in order to avoid some emotional problems. The next is progressivism. So it states that the concept of the child of the learner is the measure of the aim of education here is life itself and not the preparation for life, that is to meet the needs of the growing of the child. So it means that the learners has a progress, and it focuses on the progress of the learners. And the application of progressivism in teaching, so the teacher act as the second parents of the students, and they are helping in inculcating values to the students. So the teacher should teach, the teacher should help the students in order for the students to have their progress. The next is absolutism. So it states that there are universal values by which all culture can be judged, and this culture must be taught and internalized by the students. So the implication of absolutism is that teacher should be agent of preserving culture. Education should be geared towards the assurance of passing cultures to the next generation, which means that teachers are the one who will preserve the cultures, especially in education, to in order to be used in the future generation. Eclecticism. So it asserts that the use of several ideas, concepts, and techniques or approaches in order to arrive at a good result. So the implication of this type of educational philosophy is in teaching any subject matter, the use of various approaches, which means it is using different strategies, different methods and techniques, and different frameworks in order for the students to be more knowledgeable in the discussion or in the classroom, and it is very important in teaching style. The next is perennialism. So it means that the essence of education is the reason and intuition. So the implication of this perennialism is the learners is rational intuitive being, or the learner must be given the chance to think and reason out. The next is realism. So the school should be prepared the learners for concrete duties and practical living. So it means that the learner should be practical of what are the life in education. So the implication of realism in teaching is it should include complete knowledge and understanding of the environment and the whole man, because it focus on or it develop us of how we are being matured enough in the practical or in living in this society. The next is formal discipline. So mind has a number of distinct and general powers of faculties, such as observations, memory, and willpower, which should be strengthened by exercise. So we all know that discipline is very important, especially in education and especially in ourselves, because without the discipline we are not more matured enough. So the implication of formal discipline in teaching is it should stress that intellectual powers of memorizing and reasoning develop by offering a proper kind of subject that could use in mastering other subject. And we are blessed enough that there are teachers that guide us in order for us to be disciplined enough or matured enough. The last is rationalism. So it advocates the reason can be source of knowledge and that truth can be best established by a process of deduction from a priori principle of independent and experiences. So implication of this type of philosophy is scientific, or it emphasizes the scientific and philosophical arguments and emphasis on philosophy. Example are the science, art, literature, social refinement, and formal etiquette. And there is no religion involved in this type of educational philosophy. And thank you, and that's all for my discussion.